Thank you so much.
Okay, that's it.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone, again. Thank you for joining us in this webinar about the intelligent enterprise, in which we're going to be sharing with you some definitions, some concepts, and some real-life examples of how small and medium-sized companies are taking their digital transformation forward. And we hope this session helps you understand where you stand on your own digital transformation journey and what the next steps could be for you and how we can help you. Together with me today is Edith Sagay. Good morning, Edith.
Good morning, Clara. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Edith. It's always a pleasure when we have Edith join us, and she has been traditionally helping us in our customer days, delivering content and tons of value to our customers and our friends. Edith has been no less than 17 years already with SAP. She is the SAP Business One expert at SAP America. So thank you very much, Edith, for joining us today. And also with me is Mauricio Castrillón. Mauricio is the Vice President of Sales and Marketing at Consensus International. Good morning, Mauricio. I think you're muted, Mauricio.
No, I'm not. Good morning.
We're proving that muting and unmuting, it's a common challenge. So thank you, Mauricio, for joining us today as well. And before we start with the content, I just want to review some housekeeping matters. Today's session is being recorded, and it will be made available to all of you to be consumed on demand and to be shared with colleagues if you think it would be of their interest. We have muted you all by default. This is in order to preserve communication throughout the session, but you can, of course, write your questions using the Q&A function that Zoom includes. You can send all your questions while we're doing the session, and at the end of the session, we'll be reviewing all your questions and we'll try to answer all of them. Other than that, thank you for joining us today, and let's jump right into the content.
Every business wants to be one of the best. You look for new ways to operate efficiently. You innovate to stay competitive. But businesses that deliver the best experience outperform the rest. It's not just product and customer experiences that matter. You also have to deliver a great employee experience to keep your workforce engaged, productive, and passionate about the work they do. And a great brand experience to ensure the long-term loyalty and growth that drive shareholder and market value. Your business must be driven by data about both your operations and the experiences that people expect. You need to collect insights about customer, employee, product, and brand experiences at every touch point. Use powerful technologies such as analytics and machine learning to sense opportunities, risks, and trends. Then turn that intelligence into coordinated action across every part of your business. SAP can help. Our strategy for the intelligent enterprise gives you everything you need to turn insight into action. We can help you run at your best, unlock new sources of growth, and lead in your industry. Learn more at sap.com/intelligent enterprise. Every business.
Good morning. Thanks, Clara, for that kind introduction. My name is Mauricio Castrillón, and along with Edith Sagay, Edith is the product expert for SAP Business One in North America. We are delighted and honored to have her today with us. We're going to be talking about the intelligent enterprise. So the past few years, the companies that have adopted some type of technology, and of course, SAP Business One being one of them, have done a significant jump into this continuum from the digital enterprise into the intelligent enterprise. We're going to be talking about that, the tools. First of all, let me please, stop the video. I'm sorry, my camera, so that we can have the best use of the bandwidth. I don't think
yes.
you're going to need to see me that much. I don't add any type of value. What we're going to be talking today is what has happened, or what are the elements for moving your organization from the digital transformation that all of you have started or should have started into the actual intelligent enterprise. Why that is more relevant today, and the new reality. And of course, with the COVID-19, we're all facing significant challenges, and we need to take advantage of what technology can add to this new challenge, so that we can come stronger by the end of this pandemic. We need to understand where each one of us are today in the continuum of the development of technologies, and see where do you want to be, or what are the things that you need to do to be an intelligent enterprise in the foreseeable future. For that, you already adopted, for those of you who are already users of SAP Business One, a core element of this of these tool of technologies. And there are another set of technologies that we suggest that you embraced, and we're going to be talking about that and show you real examples of these technologies in real life. And finally, what are the things that you can do to become an intelligent enterprise? The COVID-19, the new norm, this next era of enterprise computing will define the intelligent technologies, and a lot of companies were caught off guard when they said digital transformation, as we spoke in the past, is years away. I don't see any need for my company to change anytime soon. And those companies that had most of their analog processes, or were manual, if you will, were pretty much stranded when COVID-19 prevented our colleagues to come into the office, prevented our products to come in and for us to deliver. So we need to make sure that our companies adapt and react to these new realities. Charles Darwin, more than 2 centuries ago, said that it is not the strongest of the species that survive, not even the most intelligent, the ones that respond quicker to change are the ones that are going to be surviving. And this is 200 years ago, when there was not technology, and this is more relevant today than any time in the past because of this. So over the past, let's say 40 plus years, 50 plus years, technology has changed significantly. And with SAP's technology, we began a journey with the first mainframe MPCs, the first accounting systems, and the first client server and internet technologies in the 1900s. Which, by the way, the internet as we know it today started 30 years ago. That's when, actually, in February, 30 years ago, when Consensus started back in 1990. So in the 60s and 70s, the mainframe computing gained a lot of popularity, and SAP enabled the first customers to automate plan for operations and material requirement planning, the initial elements of that type of technology, if you will, of operations. That way, in the 90s, companies started expanding the use of internet. And we were able to connect, with customers and headquarters for companies that had subsidiaries. And in the past 10 years, cloud computing and big data became a significant element in day-to-day life and became really pervasive. And in some cases, as we see in the last 10 years, I would say, disruptive. That happens with new technologies such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, and Internet of Things. They become mainstream, and you need to make sure that you take advantage of these opportunities. Now, this is the digital maturity from a digital present company to a digital mature company that is intelligent, is an intelligent enterprise. A digital present companies or organizations that have a company website, for instance, in place, have some form of social media account that represents their brand or the business of products and communicate with their constituents, if you will, or business channels via this form or via email. Some organizations have moved their company's websites into actual e-commerce platforms, and they have some type of analytics in place, some types of key performance indicators and the like to measure the performance of businesses and et cetera. And they use these inexpensive digital tools, all of them available with SAP Business One today, to be digitally active. Now, to become digitally engaged, organizations should have some type of digital business processes in place via an ERP, and that is exactly what SAP Business One brings along as an integrated solution. You need to have some type of automation in your business processes. Automation from end to end, and so you need to be able to make some sort of strategic decisions based on the information you have. In order to be digital competitive, the companies start to employ prediction capabilities, predictive analytics. So that you can spot future trends and opportunities. You have microservice architecture and use some type of some form of machine learning and artificial intelligence or AI. Now, there are very few digitally mature companies, and these companies have a first artificial intelligence approach. They provide superb customer experience with their channel agnostic approach. They use their customer data and organizational flexibility to create new business opportunities, new business lines, and driving incremental revenue through that. And good examples of these types of organizations is Alphabet, the parent company of Google, Facebook, and later, of course, Amazon. The more digital mature company, the more value you bring to your customers. In essence, what we're looking for, again, throughout these continuum for the early stages is more repetitive tasks that were managed with these type of technologies are replaced by automation, some way of automation. We're going to be talking about those tools. And the high value tasks, which is where you become really strategic, are the critical elements for your company to really provide a superb customer experience on one hand and make sure that you bring value to your customer. And at the end, that your resources, your company, of course, and your colleagues are as strategic, as I mentioned, as possible, rather than doing repetitive tasks. Now, the future business challenges will be radically different. Your customers expect, personalized offerings. They need to faster delivery, proactive services. They want best-in-class experience. Your employees that probably span, several generations from, newly graduated or very young operators, if you will, to, seasoned and close to retirement teams. So we have several generations, and all of them, they want to be, empowered and engaged in the meaningful work. They want to make sure that they don't do the type of, repetitive work, and they need to be a lot more productive for you, of course. So in essence, what you need to do is you need to optimize the productivity of your organization, of an entire operation. You need to be able to do more with less. And at the same time, growing your top line, and with doing more with less, increasing your bottom line. What is the intelligent enterprise? And then let's start by an analogy of what an autonomous vehicle, a driverless car does today, because they are already a reality. The first thing that you need to do is, and companies need, visibility. So an autonomous vehicle literally can see in the dark. They use a number of sensors and a lot of data by connecting to different elements, traffic and the like. They can take all significant amounts of data with which they can perform the task they're in. In this, you see all these different elements that you can see there, but that is not enough. In essence, the visibility that you have there, of all that kind of data needs to be analyzed, and you need to focus on the elements of the data that are relevant. In this video representation of a driverless car, you can see that there are different elements that have been sensed or identified. They're visible to the car. The two people that are riding bicycles in front, the car that is towards the left-hand side on the other lane. There is another car on the farther than the trees that is coming in the further direction. There is a car parked in the direction where we turned, and of course, you need to focus on the things that are relevant. What are relevant for this car are the car that is on the lane to our left, and of course, even more relevant in red, the cyclists that are in front. So you need to make sure that you focused on the things that are relevant for your organization, so that you can act in an agile form. And with all these sensors and all this type of technology, your companies are going to be able to act and react significantly faster than we do in a business as usual or today's form. And you can see that clearly in this video. The sensors, please pay attention if you can listen to a little beep. The sensors predict, or they can understand, they can predict that there is going to be an accident, and the sensors predict that there can be an accident 0.3 seconds before a human can predict or realize that there is an accident, and it takes a human 0.6 seconds to act or react. That means that with this type of technologies, we can react 50% quicker, and that means that could be the difference. So this driverless car, stopped way ahead and realized that there was going to be an accident before there was actually an accident. The cars on the right-hand lane were able to stop several yards after the driverless car did. And these are the type of things that we need to make sure that that we incorporate in our day-to-day operations. So in essence, what does the intelligent enterprise bring to your company? The intelligent enterprise allows you to have visibility. And this visibility is the ability to collect data that was previously siloed in an organization or even non-present. And with that, you do more with less and empower your employees. In addition, you need to have focus. So your business needs to make sure that has the relevant data, the relevant information, so that you can deliver best-in-class customer experience. What is it that the customer needs? What is it that they needed? What price are they paying? Not more or not less. Those are the type of things that that companies need to make sure that they act and react. And at the end of the day is to make sure that with having the right visibility, focusing on the relevant information, you will be able to act and react in an agile mode so that you can adapt to these critical times quicker, invent new business models and revenue streams so that you can serve your customers and better and monetize these data-driven capabilities. Now, what are the outcomes? I'm going to be moving a little bit closer. In essence, you want to do more with less. You need to automate your processes, from invoice to payments, predictive lead management, automated sales discount approvals, warehouse automation. For those of you who have one way of warehouse automation, congratulations. For those of you who don't, this would be probably the time to think about those type of technologies. And deliver best-in-class customer experience, self-service enabled chatbots and voice, personalized and distinctive customer experience, and of course, omni-channel customer service. The wholesaler that sells to only one type of channel with technology today can reach the end customer using e-commerce platforms, and we have quite a few stories that were enabled by SAP Business One integration into e-commerce for companies to drive these new business models. You can expand into new industries and new markets, and of course integrate forward and backward with your customers and your vendors. In essence, as you saw in the original video, companies are getting way better at the yellow part of this double loop infinity loop, the operations part. And in the operations part, you need to make sure that your lead to cash, your procure to pay, or you design to operate, or you're hired to retire. Those type of elements in your operations are optimal. On the left-hand side, you need to make sure that the experience that you provide to your customers and your employees is second to none. You need to be able to listen. You need to be able to collect that type of information and make sure that using the elements of intelligence of the new technologies allows you to have a an intelligent enterprise that create all the outcomes that we described in the previous slide. Now, what are the elements of the intelligent enterprise? The intelligent enterprise has three major elements. One of them is the intelligence suite. The intelligence suite are is the digital core, your ERP, if you will, your SAP Business One, the automation of your plant, the people, and the network. The intelligent technologies are the new kids on the block, if you will. I know I'm showing how old I am. But with these type of technologies and the capabilities of incorporating these technologies, business processes, you're going to be able to advance your companies in a very significant form. And finally, your digital platform. The digital platform is the cloud, the big data that enables all of this to come together. In essence, the digital core are what, for those of you who use SAP Business One, is your integrated ERP. Your financials, your sales to collections, all your logistics, your purchasing, your manufacturing, all of that is covered with SAP Business One, and you have that digital core already in place. Now, there are some of you who probably have done this, in a probably 70 or 75% of implementation, because you defined a specific scope that was to be done to go live, and then you left a few of these automations for a second phase. Automations in the warehouse, for instance, automations in your manufacturing plant, and or automation with your outside sales, your mobile sales reps. These type of things sometimes in the second phase get in the lost drawer, and this probably is the perfect time for you to finalize that digital core implementation. Now, on top of that is the digital platform, right? And I know that I jumped from the top to the bottom because this bottom is what enables this whole thing. So you have, the cloud computing, you have tools for real-time analytics, you have in-memory computing for those of you who run SAP Business One HANA version, you have, unparalleled business integrations capabilities within SAP and, of course, with the outside world. Apps to extend the functionality of SAP Business One beyond the core, and of course, mobile force. Now, what comes next? What comes next is the Internet of Things. What comes next are all those intelligent technologies that will allow your company to move one step closer to the intelligent enterprise. And we have experiences and examples of these. These intelligent technologies are part of the core of what we're going to be touching in the remaining 30 minutes of this talk. So I will lead to Edith. So she's going to be introducing these technologies and give us examples about that. Thank you, Edith. Edith, we can hear you. We cannot hear you. Can
yes.
You hear? There you go.
Unmute. Thank you, Mauricio. That was a great overview, and I think it's really exciting times to be in, although this situation with the COVID-19 makes you maybe want to pause, but what we've seen in a lot of our customers is that they actually take advantage of this time to make some changes in the company and to really maybe approach other aspects of their business, maybe develop new aspects of their business, to maybe gear toward essential industries like food and e-commerce and things like that we need today. Obviously, we hope everything goes back to normal, but it seems like it's going to take some time. So what I would like to drill into a little bit and give you some examples is we keep talking about intelligent enterprise, but what in reality, what our customers are doing and what are those intelligent enterprise and how can you access them? So this diagram, actually, if I'm going to look from the right side, we start with Business One. As Mauricio mentioned, you have your digital core already. You've done the first step. On top of that, using the APIs that we provide, which is the main API is the Business One service layer, to create additional solutions using those intelligent technologies to expand your core. And these intelligent technologies can be, the providers are, there is a lot of options out there. So we do have the SAP Cloud Platform, which I'm going to talk about, but also AWS would have these services, Azure, Google. So you can get those from a lot of places, so you're not obligated to consume the SAP platform. To use those intelligent technologies like machine learning, like developing mobile apps, like text analysis, all of these that are listed here, to really take your organization to be an intelligent enterprise and to expand on the areas that have value. So it's not about replacing the people. It's about make sure the people are doing doing the strategies, are doing the actions that grow the business, and not just focusing on repetitive tasks. Let the technology do that for you. Okay, so sorry, it's a little bit slow, but now I want to really focus a little bit on the SAP Cloud Platform. And what is the SAP Cloud Platform? It really is a platform as a service. It's a cloud solution that really provides you a development environment with all those services. Sorry, I jumped ahead. There you go. Provide you these intelligent technologies that you can simply consume, and you can use the SAP Cloud Platform to build those different apps, to build those different user experiences that connect to your digital core, which is Business One. So if you look at this diagram, it really does provide you with a full 360 view of what the cloud platform does for you. First, you can build those new apps. You can use those services that are available within the cloud platform. You can integrate whether you're on the cloud or on-prem. So even if you have Business One on-premise sitting in your office, it doesn't mean you cannot use that. You can still create applications in the cloud that sends the data back and forth from Business One. You can extend, you can take existing functionality and add a new functionality to your existing platform and applications. And really, a lot of this is about people. It's about user experience, because we can build a really good, robust application for, I don't know, for an e-commerce solution, for a warehouse automation. But then if the user experience is just too cumbersome, it's not self-explanatory, people are just not going to use it. And sometimes SAP actually have this tendency of deciding that we need, you know, a few more screens and a few more checkboxes, and we don't necessarily think about how the user are going to interact with it, and that's a big piece of it. And again, if you can do all this work and people will not use your application, then you miss the point here. Think about when you are downloading a new app to your phone. You don't want to go through a set of trainings and webinars or anything like that to start using the application. You want it to be intuitive. You want to start using it immediately and really using the technologies that the cloud platform provides you. Really gives you a very nice interface, the Fiori style with the tiles that you're probably familiar with. That's very easy to start and using. Let's look at some examples. You know, we keep saying intelligent technologies. What can we do with those technologies? Did it move to the next slide? Because I'm not seeing it. Oh, now I'm seeing it. Okay, there you go. So let's take machine learning and image recognition. What is that? It's just the ability to take a picture of an item, and not only the system will recognize it, it will also connect it to your backend ERP system and map it and match it with, for example, an inventory item within your ERP system. Now, where is the machine learning part of it? Is the fact that the more pictures of a mouse, for example, that you upload or that you have in the database or that the application came across, the better and quicker recognition it's going to be. So the system learns to really quickly identify the picture, even if it's in a different angle, different lighting, different sizes. And that's the combination of a machine learning and an image recognition application. And imagine you can do a lot of things with it, like build a quick mobile app in your website. People can just take a picture of an item they previously bought from you, and you will very quickly say, okay, this is it, if you want to place another order to increase your upsells. The next example is blockchain. So what is blockchain? It really is maintaining of the version of the truth in multiple places. So for example, if I'm processing payments and I want to actually use some kind of digital wallet solution where everybody knows that the order was sent and then the billing was sent and the payment was captured. So in this scenario, we're really saving on cost and on time of processing this. Plus you have that data security that you know that everybody has the same version of the truth. Another nice example of blockchain is inventory quality control and inventory check, where you can really know in real time using sensors, for example, where the items are, if it's in transit, from manufacturing to delivery, and really, again, the option to know real time from different aspects, whether it's your customer versus you versus your vendor, what's the status of your inventory. Another intelligent technology, natural language and chatbot. So what is that? I'm sure a lot of you have an Alexa at home, for example, and you talk to it. So what if you could talk to your ERP system? What if you could just say, you know, Business One, place an order for 3 of those items. Imagine how easy it would be. You wouldn't even need an interface. You wouldn't even need this user experience because you're just using your natural language. And what we're seeing here is where the user talks to the bot. The technology actually converts it into into terms that your ERP can understand. And if you say, show me, tell me the numbers of, you know, my sales for last week, or place an order for this, or, you know, create a PO for that item, think how much time it saves you, and how the user experience in this case is so much better than going into a screen and, you know, placing orders like you do today. Internet of Things, it's another one of those technologies. For example, if you guys are familiar with the Amazon Dash button, in fact, Consensus are already using it today. How easy it is to push a button, and through the internet, the order is sent to your backend system, where you can call a web service and just, you know, enter an order, order a product, requesting an agent, creating an activity in Business One. And you can define what kind of transaction will go back to your ERP system just by pushing of a button. And the nice thing about it is that this is not expensive. These are you know, a few dollars. You can use them, you can spread them around your warehouse, you can spread them, give them to your salespeople. Just again, the user experience comes into play here big time, because again, there's no need for me to go into a cumbersome system to place an order, or to reorder a service or a product, just push of a button. Some additional technologies you can take into account are business intelligence and analytics. And this is beyond just having a report that shows me what my sales were for the last week. No, it's really taking and capturing this data, storing it, use it to predict what, you know, based on my history, what I'm going to have in the future, and really transfer and share the data. And really this is, you know, you can think of like very simple examples of show me, you know, items that are not selling, and show me some statistics of, you know, when I last sold it. Based on my history of this item, how much am I going to sell in the future? And by the way, in Business One, we have the, if you guys are familiar with the MRP Intelligent Forecast, that does something like that. It's not really a report, but it's more than a report. It's a report, and it's creating the forecast for me. If you think of also Business One order recommendation, I have prediction of, based on this customer previous purchases, what kind of items I should recommend for this customer to buy. So even if you're on the phone with this customer and he says, you know, I need some of this, and you can say, you know what, I would recommend you buy this together with this item, because they go well together. And this, the system will give it to you. But you can really go wild with, you know, intelligence, business intelligence. Sometimes we don't really appreciate the power of a good reporting tool until we have it, because we capture a lot of data on a day-to-day basis, but the question is, what do we do with this data? In terms of SAP, we have, as I mentioned, there are some already analytics embedded within Business One, but if you want to take it further, we have the SAP Analytics Cloud, which is kind of a more robust tool for analytics. So if you guys want to look into that, that is the tool. Of course, there are other vendors out there, so we're not just saying, you know, SAP product. There is Microsoft, there is Tableau, there is a lot of different analytics tools out there. There is a lot more, but you know, we're not going to go through each and every technology. What I do want to share with you guys is a really nice playbook SAP has created together with our partner, with our channel partners, and Consensus is, of course, has a big portion of this book in there. And it really does showcase solutions that our partners developed. And some of them are already in use with actual live customers. Some of them are just POC, just proof of concept. But I think just to give you ideas, I think a lot of the times when we talk about this, like as an organization, you think, okay, how is it relevant to me? How can I use that? So I think this will give you a really good idea of things that we did around the world. So it's a really nice book. You can even order it as a hard copy, but you know, probably you don't really need that. If you kind of look through this, first of all, this is the SAP team, a global team that we assembled that kind of manages the whole intelligent enterprise initiative within the Business One ecosystem. And then you can go ahead and kind of look through some examples. Let me go to some of the first ones. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on. So it's by the topic. So for example, what are we doing around machine learning and artificial intelligence? And then you have some ideas. So you would see also who the partner that developed it, what is the solution? Again, as I mentioned, some of them are already operational. Some of them are more in the proof of concept type. For example, you have face recognition, technologies here. We're using, let's see, some others. This is also image recognition, counting items. I really like this example. It's so simple. I don't know if it's a little hard to see perhaps in the picture, but these are tubes in a factory, and a person needs to actually count how many tubes are in this picture. How long is it going to take that person to do it manually? A long time. But what this partner has created was an image, uses image recognition to be able to count those tubes. And in this case, it would know, for example, if there's a circle somewhere else, it would be using the machine learning, it's going to know that this circle is not a tube. So it will give you the overall count. And not only that, at the end of the process, it's going to put in an inventory receipt, for example, in Business One. So this is how you would combine these type of things. Let's quickly jump to page 18. And this is some of consensus solutions. And Mauricio will soon show you these examples. For example, how to take a PDF and turn it in using OCR technology to turn it into an invoice in Business One. System read-write in consensus, and they have a couple more here. So you can definitely kind of browse through this. I really like this playbook. Again, it's not about selling you any of this. It's really just to get ideas of you know, what you can do. Going back to, where is the PowerPoint? Here is the PowerPoint. And I really hope you got a kind of a good glimpse and understanding of what the technologies are. And I would like to hand it back to Mauricio now to drill down and show you some live examples. Mauricio, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Dave. We truly appreciate your support, you joining us and showing all the things that SAP in terms of their architecture, the things that enable, you know, SAP Business One to take advantage of these new types of technologies. And furthermore, there are a lot of technologies that with the artificial intelligence or expert systems. For instance, in the latest version of SAP Business One, version 10, the MRP capabilities for planning has an expert system, artificial intelligence, already algorithms incorporated into that. So this is not Star Wars type of technology. These are realities. Now, the things that we have done in a consensus, you saw how Edith mentioned the little buttons, the dash buttons. If you have been you purchased through Amazon, Amazon tries to show you what these dash buttons can do. You can order a specific dash button associated with a product that you buy periodically, and you don't need to go into Amazon next time you you're low on that product. For instance, you buy deodorant, and then you just press that button in your house, and the product shows up in your house the following day or 2 days later. We at Consensus took it a step forward. In essence, so what we did is
for us, this device is a new channel for sales
channel.
or requests.
Let's listen.
The device has 6 buttons with 3 clicks for each one, where we can set up items and create sales orders in SAP. And how it works. First, we have to define prices, items, customers for each button. Then set up the device into my portal SAP and configure Wi-Fi. Then start to select items and send a request to have a new order in SAP. In summary, I have the item 0022 set in the button number 1, and I click once. The light turns on 1 time. The same happened with the button number 2, 3, and 5. When I send the document in SAP, a new sales order is created with the quantity selected at the device. In conclusion, our innovation is based on small efforts, great results. So if you have an idea, please tell us. For sure, we may help you to make it real. Thank you very much for your time.
So as you saw, we were able to take the dash button, this is an Internet of Things, and create a new business model for this company that used to be a wholesaler of products for pets. With this, they were able to create these buttons. We created this button. We found those buttons, the vendor, those buttons. There are vendors that provide 10 buttons from the initial Amazon button of 1 button to this one has 6. Actually, it's 7 for the send, 10 buttons and the like. And very inexpensive. These type of devices cost anything between $5 to $20 each, and you can give that away to the end customer. The end customer, as you saw, places an order, and it's up to us. So we provide an excellent experience for the customer, and we shorten cycles significantly. Now, the other thing that Edith mentioned in the playbook is that you can do a lot of things not only with Internet of Things. We have done things with sensors. We have connected different machines in the plant to capture, for instance, items that have been produced directly from the machine, the output of the machine. We have placed sensors to control the temperature in a specific tank, for instance. We have done a number of those things. We can place sensors in a package for very expensive goods. We have an innovation team in Colombia that manages these type of projects. The other thing is automate processes. And one of the things that I mentioned in the past is you need to make sure that the experience that you provide your customers and of course your second second, very close to the first one, constituent, which is your employees, is as valuable as possible. So you need to make sure that your employees are not performing activities or tasks that are repetitive and non-type of value creating type of activities. These type of things today with the technologies that are available can be automated. And that's where robotic process automation, RPA, comes into life. So the things that are repetitive can be automated, and this is what we have with these two examples. In this first example, there is a company here in Miami, and they got a hand of a number of items, a little bit of commodities that they needed to sell through Amazon. Here, they had to send the list of items, search the product, send that list of items to people in the Middle East, for instance, or the Far East, who would then overnight do massive amounts of searches, compare that item with similar items in Amazon, see which ones are comparable and what type of pricing could we sell this item that we got a hold on so that we're competitive. And some of these items become a little bit of what we call commodities. So as soon as these items the price fluctuates, the price changes, I need to be aware on timely manner so that I can in turn do the actual adjustment of prices. So this RPA process takes a specific item or list of items and produces for each for those items, the scores, the ratings, and the target price that the company should be selling that product for, or make a decision not to sell it and then discard it. And this, which was taken manpower and 2 or 3 days doing these type of processes, can be done in literally in minutes. The other example that we have is one of the companies. This is a proof of concept that we did for one of our customers, dear customers here in the U.S., specifically in Miami. Every time they deliver a product to their customers, the packing list needs to be signed by the person receiving the goods. They bring all these hard copies of these papers. They need to scan it, and they want to attach that image to the actual delivery document, and that used to take several hours a day or many hours each week for somebody who would be doing the separation of each one of these, scanning them, and then each one of those files, finding the actual delivery document, and then attaching the image. What RPA does is just you just do one single type of feed of scan, one single file, and the robot, what it does, it takes that file and splits that into a number of different files, each one of them a file for each one of those deliveries, and then assigns that file with a signature to the actual delivered document at SAP. Again, you can do that, leave it running overnight, and you save 4 to 8 hours of somebody within the organization that can do something more productive, more strategic. So in essence, I'm going to let it run a little bit faster, that you can see now how the robot is bringing up the specific deliveries for a document that it identified, and attaches that document, that image, if you will, to logical document. And it does it in again, as if somebody was typing it. As you can see, it's a very robust type of product. Now, what are the trends? What are the things that you need to consider? We've seen intelligent technologies that are available already. You know, small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, are digitalization to make sure that you have a more efficient organization. You know, the cloud is a platform. You need to embrace the cloud, of course, and mobile technologies. Those are the type of things that are the name of the game today. And the last one, you need to prepare, and not only prepare now, you need to embrace Internet of Things. These are realities that already have us working. Now, we talked about this, the digital maturity. I know we're running out of time. I'm going to be done in 2 minutes. We wanted to do a poll to see, you know, what was your, where do you think you place yourself? But we're running out of time. So in essence, when we're talking about the intelligent enterprise, there was a poll done last year about the digital enterprise, and companies were a little bit shy of how they think they manage that, and they thought only 3% of them were really tackling the digital enterprise proactively. Now, in the intelligent enterprise, which is the end goal here, what is it that you can do? So as we saw, there are several things that you can do internally. You need to make sure that the second phase of the digital core is as robust and as integrated as possible. You need to make sure that you have your warehouse automation technologies are in place, from the receiving all the way to the put away and the delivery, the pick and pack. Key performance indicators, whatever, if you don't measure it, you cannot act upon it. And of course, e-commerce integration. The majority of you already in this digital active and some type of digital engaged world already. For the digital engaged, the Alexa, the possibility of interacting with SAP Business One, your tools using natural language. That is a reality already. Material requirement planning, to have all these technologies with expert systems already to order the products that you need to build, or the raw material that you have, or the items that you need to sell in a smart way. The Internet of Things with sensors, with dash buttons, all those type of technologies are already a possibility. They're ready. And robotic process automation. These are the things that you can do, and this is only, of course, an example of the things that you can do now. For external or customer-facing technologies, again, e-commerce integration, so that you have several ways of reaching your end customer. In the internal element, the e-commerce integration allows you to reduce the times and the errors to receive those orders and then process the order fulfillment. In the external element, you can incorporate middleware technologies such as business process automation, in which you can have actions from external elements, bring that information, do some type of transformation, and bring it into your organization with minimal human intervention or none. We strongly advise to take full advantage of that. Internet of Things, as we saw, the buttons, robotic process automation for reducing the cycle of this order fulfillment. And what you want to do is you need to be multi-channel present. It doesn't matter where your customer is. They need to be able to to reach you, you know, via chat, via Facebook, via the e-commerce, via Amazon, you name it. You need to be there. And with these type of technologies, you're going to be able to create new business models. And I mentioned that before. Think about the things that you can do to sell your products better. You know, reach customers overseas. We can help you that. We are international for a reason. Reach end customer. If you're a wholesaler, there is a possibility for you to reach end customers that you have no visibility of today using these type of technologies. With that, we thank you. It's we are 3 minutes above the hour. Any type of questions, Clara?
Yeah, as you mentioned, Mauricio, we are a little bit over the hour, but maybe we have time for a short question if we extend a little bit more. And the other questions we might be replying to you by email. But this is a question that I think it's important for you to clarify. And it's one of our attendees is asking: these intelligent technologies sound like something very expensive. Is that true?
That's a great question. Actually, no. What is expensive is not having those technologies. These dash buttons, as I mentioned, range in price from $3 to $20. That's it. Configuring and implementing it, it's just you know, a few hours will do that type of assessment, and you can implement that. The robotic process automation also, you know, a few $1,000s with which you can really, you know, reduce significantly the inefficiencies in your organizations. Sensors today are very inexpensive as well. So the answer to this is no. The technologies are getting to be there. SAP has already incorporated a lot of these intelligent technologies and in artificial intelligence and expert systems into SAP Business One. So the real cost of these technologies is not implementing them. They're very expensive if you don't do anything.
Thank you, Mauricio. Thank you so much for your answer, for your presentation. Thank you, Edith, as well. It was a very interesting presentation. To all attendees, thank you for joining us. I shared some links via the chat so that you can subscribe to our newsletter, get more information about our upcoming webinars and workshops, and also about our new YouTube channel and about the playbook that Edith shared with all of us. I thank you for joining us today, and I hope we'll see you in our next webinar. Thank you very much.
Bye now.